In this video, I'm going to walk a few miles out into the woods, pitch a tarp shelter, cook some delicious food, and enjoy a relaxing evening around the fire. Everything's soaking wet out here. Ground is saturated and the water's just dripping off the trees. I plan to cook over a campfire. I'm looking forward to the challenge. I've got a new pack. It's the Outdoor Vitals Carbon Shadowlight 60, and it's busting at the seams. I've got so much stuff, I couldn't bring everything I wanted to bring, but I wanted to use the new pack, so I'm good enough. Lots of luxuries. I think my loadout is 35 pounds, and it's probably close to its carrying capacity, but it's super comfortable. I'm really enjoying it. All right, made it to camp. Look for a place to pitch tarp, get camp all pitched, and then see if there's any possibility for a fire. It's going to be a long, hungry night if not, but I've never not been able to do it, but there's always a first. Okay, so this looks like a fairly level spot between these trees. I'm going to do a fully enclosed freestanding tarp shelter configuration for this one. Not only because it's so damp right now and this fog looks like it's not going anywhere anytime soon, but in the morning we're supposed to have rain and potential thunderstorms, probably about the time I'm waking up. So I'd like to kind of stay out of that as much as possible. We'll clear this up. Probably tie off to this tree right here, stake it out. I'll show you how it sets up. It's pretty easy. I forgot how big this tarp is. All right, so this is a 10 by 10 tarp. What we're going to do, this is folded in half, open on this side. So we're going to go ahead and stake out both tie-out points on this corner and this corner. Boy, that ground is soft. That's really nice. And then I'll come back and kind of tighten these up when I'm ready to raise it. Okay, so here's the open side right here. This corner will get no stake. And I'll only stake out the bottom tie out on this corner. So I've tied some cordage to the middle of the tarp. I have 5 tie out points on each side of this tarp. I'll go ahead and raise it. I've always used a stick. I'm not sure how a tree is going to work, but I think it'll work out just fine. And you can see, I have to raise this quite high. You know what, I'm going to use a stick just to get the height that I need. This tree's too far away. We'll have kind of a triangular, some type of triangle shape. This end will come up to here and fully enclose. I have a rectangular tarp, not a square tarp. I grabbed the wrong tarp. No way. All right. I'm going to come up with a plan B. This won't work. How it's supposed to work if this was a square tarp is this would come up to this side. They would enclose all the way down to the ground. And then I could just take the flap and throw it over to have it wide open. or have it fully enclosed if I wanted to. And I could even stake the bottom of this flap out if it was windy. But since I have the wrong tarp, I must have at least a 10 by 12, if not a 10 by 14. Okay, plan B. There's always a plan B. I just have to think of what it is. Get back to you in a bit. Okay, this isn't finished yet. I just want to give you an idea of what I have in mind. So I'm going to pitch a standard plow point first. I'll straighten this out a little bit. And the prevailing wind was coming from this direction when I first pitched it. The advantage to this is you can spin it all around the tree if the wind direction changes. But what I'm going to do, let me fix this corner. So it's like a diamond shape. And it's not really going to. And that's the problem with the rectangular tarp. I don't know why I even have a rectangular tarp in my gear closet. They should all be square tarps. Okay. I was going to tuck the back end under because that's so close to the ground you really can't use that space anyway. And then come up to the middle of each side. And I think I might still be able to make it work. I'm just going to have to, this is going to be one for the books. I've never done anything like this with a rectangular tarp. I really can't remember any good pitches for a rectangular tarp. I'm going to have to think about that. Come up here. This will give me a lot less space underneath, so that I'll be pretty well sheltered, and I'll have a ground cloth under me when I tuck that part in, which would be nice, since I didn't bring any additional tarps or ground sheets. I was counting on having that enclosed pitch. I didn't think I would need one. Let's see if this works. I think it will. Yeah, it's going to be a weird shape, but it'll work. It'll be taut. Yeah, I think that's going to work all right. That's funny. Let me get in here and pull this through. Okay, this is something I have never seen done, but that's the beauty of a tarp, is you can do anything with it. You're only limited by your imagination, really. That's not much of a ground sheet, but it's going to have to work. Well, it comes out pretty far, it's just not long. That's funny. I like it. I mean, it's not what I wanted, but it'll work. Pull this out some more, and then we'll get the bed set up. And it's time to see if we can have any luck with firewood. Yeah, I'm happy with this. So I went ahead and staked out the part of the tarp that will be my ground sheet. It's all fairly taut. There's plenty of room in here. As long as we don't have a blowing storm, we're going to be okay. And if we do, I'll just lower this down, stake some more of this out, and be snug. Okay, so I think I'm going to sleep in it. I always want to feel the ground, make sure there's no rocks or sticks before I get my sleeping mat out. Okay, so I'm 6'1". I've got plenty of room here. Should be able to keep my gear dry tonight. Oh, and I do have some extra room for my pack and the rest of my gear under here. Yeah, I like it. That's going to be cool. I wasn't counting on any warmth from the fire tonight, which is good because it's way back there. So I'll go ahead and finish pitching camp. And it's time for firewood, and that'll be my focus probably from up till dinner time. Okay, here I am. Camp's all pitched. This is everything I brought. Pack's back there. Had to change my orientation. There's a dip in the ground here, making that the high point. So that's where my head has to go. And now the wind's shifting direction to blow into the shelter. It's going to be an interesting night. I can't believe I got all this in a 60-liter backpack. That's ridiculous. So I've got a 1/8 inch foam under here, a sleeping mat, a couple pillows, and my whoopee. It's not supposed to get too cold tonight, somewhere in the 50s, and that'll be the warm spot for after midnight as well. And then tomorrow we have a cold front coming in, which is bringing the storms, and we'll get down into the 20s tomorrow and stay there for a couple of days. So I'd like to have camped in that weather, but I have to work. So this 1/8 inch foam mat is nice because it weighs maybe an ounce or two, just nothing. And it's easy to roll up or fold up. You can use it as a sit pad. You can use it for a lot of different things. But I brought a chair. In fact, I brought everything I wanted to bring except for a table. I couldn't fit that into the pack. I had to shove this stuff that I've got into there. I've got a gallon of water, a little over 4 liters, just because we're dry camping, and all the streams and springs here are dry still too. Fresh food for tonight, tomorrow, a skillet, a pot, all the stuff that goes along with that, and a couple of libations to enjoy with dinner tonight in glass bottles. This is so much fun. I love the wintertime. I love just going out and camping and having all the stuff, and just doing the stuff there. But gosh, I thought I had a big enough pack, and it looks like I don't. I'm gonna have to I don't even want to say it out loud. All right, time to gather some firewood. Well, I realized it's going on 2, and this is going to take a long time to get the firewood, but I haven't had anything to drink since I got here, or since I left. That's about 4 hours ago. So I've got a couple of meat sticks and some cookie bites and water, of course. And this was kind of laying around here. It's pretty wet, so I'll just set that at the base and let it dry. Everything is wet on the outside, but dry in the middle, which will make it a little challenging to get the fire started, but once I get enough heat, then everything will start to dry out and start to burn. So I've just started collecting a bunch of kindling on up to some bigger pieces, and I'm reserving some for tomorrow at the same time. So I'll have a snack, drink, and then we'll carry on, and it gets dark about 4:45 right now. So I think I'll need to get that fire started around 3:30 maybe. Yeah, that's probably about right. It's going to take a long time for the fire to build just because it's so wet. So by 3:30 at the latest, I'll get that fire started. I'm looking forward to dinner. Well, I got lucky and found this large tree. It's been down for quite a while. It's dead and, dry on the inside. Most of the limbs are up in the air here at the top of the tree. So that's perfect. I've been harvesting wood from that. And there's another one maybe 50 yards past it, down on the ground with a lot of limbs in the tree. Way more firewood than I need, so what an awesome find. I should have come out here first. I should have enough firewood for tonight and tomorrow morning, and if I don't, I know where to get more. All right, it's about time to get this fire started. In this tin, I have some jute and some fire plugs, and then I also have, if I could get it out of my pocket, pocket bellows and a fire steel. So I'm going to go ahead and work this jute up, break it apart and fluff it up, use a fire plug and get this set up, and then we'll get the fire going. Okay, I'm trying something I've never done before. I've got a couple of fire plugs and all that jute under the sticks, and I'm going to try and throw a spark through the sticks to the jute. If I could do that, then that will go ahead and ignite everything. The reason I'm trying this is because this wood is so wet, and I'm concerned that the jute and the fire plugs might burn out before this really gets dry. If I didn't have it on top. So let's find out. I may have to take these off. Or I may just scatter it everywhere. There it goes. Hopefully this works. I think we've got it, folks. That's exciting. Okay, so I'm going to build this fire, and once it really gets well established, I think I'll go ahead and light up a cigar, because most of my work is done other than cooking, and just let it burn down to coals. Okay, now I have complete confidence in that fire. I don't know why. I guess this is the wettest wood I've ever had to collect for a fire before, and that's why I was so nervous about it. I'm really happy that this turned out like it did. It's going to be great. Okay, we're finally down to a good bed of coals. This is where I miss having that table. So we're going to start tonight's dinner by making some bannock. I'm using half the recipe for this. I'll put the recipe in the description box below. And we're going to cook the bannock and cut it in half and then split it open like a pita. And then we'll cook some brats and add some mustard and sauerkraut. Have a couple of those. That sounds really good. First we'll work the water into the dough. I might have put too much water in there. I hope not. Oh, maybe not. And I'll spread the coals out. Get that skillet warming up. Well, I messed that up big time. These coals are way too hot to cook bread, to cook bannock. So I just added that to the rest of the charcoal off to the side. And what we're going to have now is brats with mustard and kraut. Still sounds really good. I'll just have to eat it with a fork instead of my hands. Wow, these coals are hot. Hopefully this is edible. Alright, so I just went ahead and cut these up into bite-sized pieces so they could cook evenly. I have to pay more attention to the temperature of the coals from now on. I just kind of got in a rush because it's getting dark. Alright, it's done, and actually it looks pretty good. I'll put these on a plate. And I'll go ahead and build the fire up a little bit while I eat, because it's quite early still. And I'd like to enjoy the fire with a couple of beverages I brought, to complement this dinner. And there we go. It does look really good. Brats, sauerkraut, mustard. And then to go along with the theme of tonight's dinner, I have a couple of German lagers. Franziskaner Weissbier. It's a good one. And a Spaten. Also a good one. I'll actually probably enjoy those by the fire after dinner. See you in a bit. All right, the fire's going again. I want to show you something Jackie gifted me several years ago for my 60th birthday. 50 cal, multifunction. It's so neat. Well, the beers are gone, the coals are banked, and the hour is late. Time to go to bed. Good night. Good morning. We're coming up on 5:30. Just checked the weather forecast, and it's looks like it's improved in our favor. So yay. Storms have moved from this morning to this afternoon, along with the cold front coming in. So we have pretty mild temperatures right now. Actually pretty comfortable. The fog never did break yesterday, so when I went to sleep, everything was pretty damp already under the tarp. And this morning, everything's soaking wet, including the inside of the tarp itself. I just can't touch anything without water falling all over me. So what I'm going to do is get a fire going. I wasn't sure we'd have time for breakfast based on the weather forecast, but now we have plenty of time. I'll get a fire going, we'll have breakfast and coffee. It's going to be a good morning. Wow, what a beautiful morning. I'm in a t-shirt and it's the weekend between Christmas and New Year's. I think we're supposed to get close to 70 today, and then that cold front comes in. But wow, this is amazing. So what we're going to do is make some breakfast, and for breakfast I'm going to have beaver tail. I'll put this recipe in the description as well. So we'll start with our flour mix, and then we're going to have to incorporate some vanilla and some butter. So maybe this could be done in a baggie, I don't know. It seems like it would be difficult, so I'm going to do it in a bowl here with a fork. Then what we'll do is add some water, and boy, that butter's hard. And then we'll spread this out to be pretty thin, maybe 1/4 inch, and shape it like a beaver tail and fry it over the coals. Oh, by the way, I learned a lesson from that debacle with the dinner last night, and that's to pay more attention when I'm cooking over a fire. I was just in a rush and not really paying attention last night, and just destroyed that bannock, barely saved the brats. So this morning I banked the coals, and I'm going to let those cool off because I want medium to low temperature coals for bread. So these are supposed to resemble beaver tails. You have to use your imagination if I'm making it. Okay, and now we wait. Well, these didn't turn out looking at all like what they're supposed to look like, but the important thing is how they taste. They're not burned. We'll sprinkle some cinnamon sugar over it. Then it's time to eat. That's good. May not look appetizing, but boy, this is delicious. All right, I'm going to tuck in. Okay, I'm all packed up. Fire's cold. Time to head back to the car. Thanks for joining me. I hope you had a good time. See you on the next one. Bye-bye.